What is up, everyone? It is your boy AJ Trip, and I'm coming at you with a rapid reaction to the first round of the Mae Young Classic. I just watched the first 4 episodes, the first 4 rounds of 16 matches. This historic tournament WWE has put on, and it is amazing. So let's get right to the action. I should say, spoiler alert for those who have not watched it and will want to watch it later. If you don't want to hear my thoughts on this, then that's okay. I've put a thing up here in the corner. I always forget. You gotta forgive me. But a thing up here in the corner that you can click on, and it'll take you to another video. All right. So now let's get to the Mae Young Classic. Let's get to the first episode. We're gonna start off with Haley Lee Ray versus Princessa Suhei. I had to make sure I got that name right. I want to make sure I get all of these names right for all of these ladies, because they definitely deserve it, because they put on a hell of a show. I thought the match was a very good opener to the match. I thought this was the I saw the bracketology, and we saw a little bit of Kaylee Lee Ray talking and things like that. So, and I also like the fact, I think there's something going on here, that also some of the ladies that they talked to on the bracketology episode with Corey Graves and Lita didn't necessarily win. So I like that. But that's what they was worried about. They were worried that they would maybe be, telegraphing, where this is headed. And on one hand, it definitely could seem that way. On one hand, I think I'll get to that later. But I was glad to see that it didn't. Kaylee Ray, she lost to Princessa Suhei. It was a very good opener. Got the crowd hot. Got the crowd excited. Now I don't know necessarily how they take this. If what they did was that they put the matches in order, because in each of the episodes it seemed like the best match was the last match. So I don't know if that's how they taped it, and it just turned out to be that way, or of course if they went back in the editing vault and then edited so that it would be that way, where the best match was the last match. Either way it goes, but they did it right by giving you a hot opener for the entire Mae Young Classic. Princessa Suhei gets the victory. She moves on into the tournament. The next match was Serena Deeb versus Vanessa Bourne. Now, Serena Deeb is Serena from the Straight Edge Society that CM Punk had almost a decade ago. And if you remember, she was let go because she was caught on camera taking a drink. And it's one of these things where, listen, this is the Straight Edge Society. CM Punk is straight edge. He doesn't drink, he doesn't do drugs, he doesn't even take medicine. He doesn't take medicine. That's what straight edge is. His body is as pure and clean as the driven snow. And that's what they were going for with here. They put in Joey Mercury, who had a problem, who had an addiction to alcohol, I believe, and he got sober. He joined Straight Edge Society. They took Luke Gallows, who was Festus, if you may remember Festus of all people, and they turned him around. They did something good. They said that he was drugged up, and it caused him to be overweight and everything like that, and he lost weight, he got clean, and now he's part of the society. And then they had her be a part of the Edge Society. She had shaved her head, so she was bald headed. But there are also a couple of other things that didn't make her recognizable, at least to me, at the beginning. But she is back, and she is now back into the WWE, and she was wrestling Vanessa Bourne. It was a relatively good match that both girls took their cues properly. The both girls are talented, and that was a great match. Serena. If I've been saying Sabrina, I apologize. Serena won. She hit a spear on Vanessa Bourne, and she wins the match. The next match is Shayna Baszler, who is part of the infamous Four Horsewomen of MMA, going up against a woman called Zeta, and she's got a MMA background as well. So this was kind of like an MMA fight. It didn't last very long. Little strikes and kicks, they were doing holds on each other, and Shayna won by kind of picking her up like a suplex, turning her over, dropping her down, and then hooking in a rear naked choke, and Zeta tapped out. Shayna Baszler won. There was a lot of Shayna's gonna kill you chants. The crowd was very, very excited and thrilled for this, so that's a good thing. Unfortunately, it's a smart crowd, and for some friggin' reason, they go 1, 2, oh, sweet, and it's just so different. Come on, let's stop it, y'all. Let's stop. At least they weren't throwing. I guess you could say at least they weren't throwing around beach balls. So that's it. And then the final match was Abby Layeth versus Jazzy Gabbert. I thought this was definitely a really truly fun match. I think it started off like Jazzy Gabbert showing off her power and her strength and something like that. And I think Abby was showing her athleticism and things like that, and how she's going to use her athleticism to take down, to combat the strength of Jazzy. And I thought it worked out very well. It ended with Abby Layeth doing the alligator clutch. I believe it is alligator clutch that was used by Mae Young, and so obviously, she had to be in the Mae Young Classic, and she used it to get the victory. Afterwards, a nice show of sportsmanship from both of them, and Abby goes on to into the tournament. And so after episode 1, the first 4 that move on into the round was Princessa Suhei, Serena Deeb, Shayna Baszler, and Abby Layeth. And like I said, Abby Layeth was the and Jazzy Gabbert was the best match of the first round, and so the first episode, I should say. So that was interesting. I thought I had the best match of the first round afterwards. But let's go on and let's go to episode 2. Episode 2 started off with Mercedes Martinez going up against Isaiah Lee. I apologize if I'm screwing that up. I think I got her Isaiah Lee. And this is apparently Isaiah Lee's first match. And she's having it against Mercedes Martinez, who is having who is like, he's been in the business for years. And one thing is that there's not necessarily a dynamic in a lot of these matches as well. It does seem to be wrestling, although there are some things, like the Shayna, and then her match earlier, Shayna had kind of a heel persona, and Mercedes has a heel persona in this match as well. And so this is Zaya's first match, so they do some stuff and some kicks. They're doing the thing where Mercedes is kind of showing, like, kind of toying with her, but then she gets caught up and Zaya makes a comeback, kind of, and they're doing all of this, and then Mercedes gets the best of her, and she hits the surfboard. She gets the surfboard, and she turns it into the Dragon Sleeper, and that's a great submission move. Great submission move. Listen, I don't know if Mercedes or any of these ladies. There are some ladies. There's Tessa Blanchard, Bianca Belair, Lacey Evans, and there's a few others that I know are NXT girls, and I don't know if and there are some that wrestle in NXT, but I know there are a couple that are NXT girls. But if any of these ladies are going to get a WWE contract, NXT contract, anything like that, I have to say, if Mercedes doesn't get a contract, I would say somebody better take that submission move, because it works perfectly. And I'm talking about men, women, it doesn't matter. I mean, I gotta tell you, it really doesn't. I'm just thinking off the dome. Enzo Amore, right? Now he's got a lot of heat. Who knows if he'll be in the WWE? Who knows if he'll be on Raw tonight? But if that's a submission move Enzo Amore could use and get over, because right now his submission move, his move was being thrown off the top rope by Cass. That was his finisher. So, but that's a good move. But if Mercedes has a WWE contract, that's hers, and that's a deadly one, and she is going to get over so quickly. I think she's got great look. She's got good timing in the ring. This chick is unbelievable. And for Xia, but that being her first match, if it really was, and I'm not gonna doubt it, she did a good job as well. I think she played the babyface role great. I think that's what she should be. I think she is. She will get over. Obviously, she's Chinese and her English isn't that well, but she doesn't need it. That's why I was wondering. There were some people who English wasn't their first language, so you always wonder how does it work for someone who doesn't speak English very well or even at all. How did that work in the ring? But when it all comes down to it, I don't think there were any mess ups or anything throughout this. They could have rehearsed it. Definitely, everybody could have rehearsed their match. First, if there was somebody who didn't speak English very well, they were wrestling somebody who did speak English, they could have rehearsed it before they even taped these. So who knows? But again, Mercedes won the Dragon Sleeper. That's out of the surfboard. I loved it. The next match was Marty Bell versus Rachel Evers, and Rachel Evers is also an NXT girl. And Marty Evers has a very interesting background. Grew up in the Dominican Republic. Her parents sent her to New York to live with, I think, her grandmother. She learned English and became a wrestling fan, and then went on to do the wrestling stuff. So, and this match was. This match. Now, when I say this, I want you to know that it wasn't a bad match. I just think that maybe both ladies, it just was a styles clash. I just say that it was just a styles clash. It didn't feel right. It didn't kind of work. But it doesn't mean it wasn't a bad match. Both ladies gave great effort and great job. Rachel Evers won with a roll up, and I thought that was just what it was. But nevertheless, great effort by both ladies. I commend them both on an excellent job. The next match was Miranda Salinas versus Rhea Ripley. Now, this was the first time I perked up, because you want to talk about this. I mean, there's a lot of things to talk about. First off, Miranda Salinas is 5 feet tall. If that. I'm not even gonna. She may be shorter than that. And Rhea Ripley is 6 feet tall at least. I wrote down here on my paper, Charlotte Flair Jr. I wrote that down, and I don't mean this because but she is just she's tall, long-legged, athletic. I mean, the look, she has it all, and she's 20 years old. I mean, this is a girl. I mean, and they found her in Australia. I mean, listen. Again, like I said, I don't know how many of these girls are going to be signed. I don't think the art signed anything like that. But I mean, really, I have no. There's no doubt in my mind. Triple H has looked at her and said, "Okay, she's yeah. We're putting the rocket on her as soon as we get her in NXT because man, I mean she's got and she's 20 years old, but she's been wrestling like forever, and it's amazing. There's some Australians that finally flew over to Orlando, over here to America to because there's a lot of Australian ladies in this tournament, so and one from New Zealand. So I think there were a lot of they flew over to celebrate their country women, and it was just and it was a good match. It was I liked it. I liked the fact that Miranda was trying to chop her down to her size, but she just couldn't do it, and she got overwhelmed. And man, oh man, oh man, there's some great bump taken by Miranda, making Rhea look even bad, bigger and badder than she already does look, just with a great look, and she won the match, and without question, it was just that's amazing, and I perked up as soon as I saw her, and I said, I see star. I see dollar signs, and I'm not, so I mean, I just think she's just, if give her 3 years in NXT, and I'm telling you, you want to talk about a woman main eventing WrestleMania, Charlotte versus her in 3 years, book it. I mean, I really do mean that. I mean, it's just there. I can't express too much enough how the look that she has is it's money, and she's really good in the ring. At least in this match, that I saw. So we'll have to wait and see. But she won. She beat Miranda, and she moves on in the tournament. And finally, the final match of episode 2 was Mia Yim versus Sarah Logan. Now, JR, he had a fun. JR was classic throughout this whole thing. You're glad to hear him back on commentary. He mentioned something that Sarah, we used to fight with Uncle Tater's goat, and I don't even know I don't know if she has an Uncle Tater, but if she does. And there's an Uncle Tater's goat. That may be the greatest anecdote I've ever heard from JR. Oh man! And again, I kind of perked up when I saw Sarah Logan too. I perked up because I said, first of all, when you hear her talk, she's got a true country accent. She's not putting on an accent. She's from Louisville, Kentucky. She's got a country accent. She is very attractive, and the look that she has is that of the true country girl. I mean, she is what they probably wanted ZZ to be when ZZ won Tough Enough. ZZ won Tough Enough. That's why they thought of as ZZ, just this country bumpkin thing, and and he was from like Louisiana, so even crazier. But yeah. So, and she's getting on, she had the Tate fist and everything, and then you get Mia Yim, who is a survivor of domestic violence, and she wants to, make sure that she can continue. She wants to make sure that she will continue to, put the word out there. She paints the nails, I think purple, and she points to it for that, for domestic violence, to be a survivor of domestic violence. So, a great story from her. This was an excellent match. A lot of things that I've never seen from women before, and at one point they're on the ground and they start swinging at each other and swinging at each other. And Sarah Logan she cocks back her leg and wham, kicks Mia right in the face. And I damn near jumped out my seat. I said, wow. And this was an excellent match. I think this probably tore down the house, and it was exciting. They said that Mia was her heroes was Lita and Gail Kim, and she finished with Gail Kim's defeat, and it was over, and then she beat Sarah Logan. I was kind of disappointed because I wanted to see Sarah Logan continue, but I think at 23 years old, and she's 26, there's a lot of tall women, a lot of young women in this thing, so they all of them have bright futures ahead of them, and so. Sarah Logan, I hope, is another one that WWE, Triple H, NXT decide to keep and sign and build up through NXT, because I think she could be the future of the women's division as well. So, but Mia Yim goes on into the tournament. So after episode 2, Mercedes Martinez, Rachel Evers, Rhea Ripley, and Mia Yim, they move on into the tournament. So we now have, after 2 episodes, we have 8 competitors. So now we need to go to the next 8. So let's start with episode 3. Now, by the way, I just finished watching all these episodes. They dropped around 10 o'clock Chicago time. So I saw the notification on my phone, and I said I gotta watch it. I turned it on, and I turned on the thing, and I watched it. And halfway through the first episode, I said, I have to do a reaction. I have to do a reaction to this. This is too good. This is too historic. This is too exciting, and it was just amazing. And I hope that this is going to be, the finale will be live. I won't be able to do a live reaction of it, because I tried to do a live reaction to, or at least a live type of watch it with me reaction to SummerSlam, and the video got blocked, so I'm not doing that anymore, but I will do it after the live event. So if they do the finale live, I will do a rapid reaction to it at the finale. And I'm going to continue this. If they drop, whenever the next episodes drop, I'm going to, I'm going to binge watch it. And after I binge watch it, I am going to sit here and do a rapid reaction for you. So don't worry about that. Now let's continue on to episode 3. Episode 3 starts with Aisha Raymond versus Toni Storm. Toni Storm is also from Australia. We get the Aussie, oi, oi, oi chants and everything like that. And at one point, Aisha is on the ground, and Toni starts slamming her head up against her butt. And JR calls it a hip attack. And I just blurted out. I started laughing, and I blurted out, no, JR, that's not a hip attack. That's an ass attack. I mean, she's not using her hip. She's slamming right into her butt cheeks. And that's there's no other way you can say it. They have to use hip attack, because I guess you can't say what I just said. But if you watch it, that's exactly what it is. And this was interesting. I thought either way. Aisha Raymond is 6 foot tall. She is, 6 feet tall women on this program. Oh my Lord Jesus! Talented. Just wow. And that's what Triple H has done. He has said many times that he has taken people. He gets people from other walks of life and athleticism, things like that, and brings them over. And I think I think not only the women that not only the people, not just the women, but the people that he has found for NXT. But it seems like that's what he did find these women for this thing. He's found women who were doing other things. They were doing judo competitions. They were doing strength competitions. They were playing basketball or whatever, and then they went into wrestling, even in their country or in another place, another time. And man, it is just these. It is just amazing. Anyway, the match was interesting. I thought it again another type of clash of style. I kind of got the feeling that maybe Aisha wanted more, wanted to be more offensive, but that wasn't going to go down. I don't think, because since Tony won, so since Tony was going over, they just kind of wanted to, showcase Tony a little more, and that's what they did. And Tony, she did win the match. So, but I did kind of get that feeling that maybe Aisha was like, I really wish I could show more of me and who I am. And maybe she got that opportunity. Maybe she signed to WWE. Maybe she got the opportunity. So who never knows? I really do think that I'm hoping we get a big swerve, and when we find out who wins, Triple H says all 32 women are starting up a new WWE Women's Wrestling show, and I would love that. I've said that before. I think WWE should have a women's, maybe a women's wrestling show for all of the women. I said that, I said it after the brand split, but I've said it before, and I think that's exactly what could happen if because again, I keep repeating it. These 32 women were awesome. The next match was Dakota Kai versus Kavita Devi. Now, Kavita Devi was trained by the great Khali. To be honest with you, you really didn't know it. You really couldn't know it. Because we don't know what Khali, and he's just whatever it is. He's just not as athletic as you'd want him to be. But this, she's 7 feet tall, doing the cruiserweight thing where they climb up the. Well, she's not 7 feet tall. I'm sorry, she's another 6 footer, but she's doing like the thing where they grab a hand and they walk up the turnbuckle, and when she walks up the turnbuckle and gets to the top rope, she walks the rope and then jumps off and does the arm drag, and it's like, wow, that's amazing. And she's got the power, and she's using her power on Dakota from New Zealand. Cute little accent. She calls herself the girl next door, and I think that's absolutely perfect. That's perfect. That's exactly what she is. She is the girl next door, without question. And I think there was a lot of they're definitely doing the big small thing here. But I think they get overshadowed later on in the episode. I'll get to that later too. But it was a good way of going about it, I believe. And then I think we also said that Kavita Devi is inexperienced. She's the first female Indian wrestler to come over to America and wrestle for WWE. And she's kind of inexperienced, and she showed her inexperience. That was also one of the themes of this tournament, at least in the first round, that there seemed to be a lot of the inexperienced person making a mistake, and then having the experienced person capitalize on it, or it was just somebody, doing something and not quick enough, and then getting, capitalized on it. And that's what she was here. She did a thing where she did a fireman carry into a press slam on Dakota Kai. She took her time walking around the ring, pointing to her muscles, and then when Dakota Kai got up and she went to the corner, she ran at him. She hit her the first time. Then she went out, and walked around again, ran at her the second time, and she missed. And then Dakota Kai does her little run around the ring, and bam, give her a big boot to the head, the haluva kick, her version of it. And then she goes up to the top for her version of the coup de grace, the coup de grace, and she gets the victory over Kavita Devi. So she moves on to the tournament. I thought that definitely the last few minutes were definitely very exciting and very good. I thought the story at the end was very good as well. You know how the young up and comer made the one mistake that the veteran took advantage of. So I like that. The third match was Bianca Belair versus Sage Beckett. And again, I think we get another 6-footer here, and Bianca Belair is again not she's one as well. You know, I don't know if she's 6 feet, but she's definitely a tall woman. And they went at it, and I thought this was just it was kind of hard hitting. This was like two powerhouses going at it. How can I describe this? I may have said this one time before, but there was a match on SmackDown where it was Vladimir Kozlov against Festus, aka Luke Gallows, back when he was doing the thing and the bell would ring and he would do all this. And I kind of thought that was, it wasn't a technically sound classic, and it wasn't a bloody all and out brawl, but it was a good fight. It was just a good, entertaining fight, and that's what this was like. This was like this wasn't a technical classic, but this was two, just powerhouses going at each other, hitting them with everything they can, and I do mean everything. Bianca Belair has this long ass braid that she uses in her matches apparently, and she caught Sage, whipped her with the braid, and then hit her with a spear, and she won. And I have said this before. I believe I've said this before, that I kind of don't want Roman Reigns to use the spear as a finishing move. I don't think it's not worthy enough. Especially when Goldberg uses the spear as a setup move for the jackhammer. He really should not use the spear anymore as a finishing move. That being said, I think it works perfectly for Bianca Belair. I think it works perfectly in the women's division. The spear as a finisher, I think it works perfectly. There was Serena Deep won with the spear, and I think there maybe was even another spear. They didn't finish the match, but it was effective. I think it was part of the victory in some sort of way. So Bianca Belair wins. She is an NXT person. She will move on to the tournament as well. And then the last match of episode 3 is Piper Niven versus Santana Garrett. Now this was a match. A lot of people say, or I should say, a lot of people. Somebody that I would read often is Scott Keith. He's worked everywhere. He's worked like at 411 Mania, and he's worked at Wrestle something when he was back, WrestleLine or something like that when he was around, and he's just worked at a lot of places doing wrestling reviews, and he now like does his own thing at the Blog of Doom that he runs, things like that. And he always, I remember him always talking about how Vader and Sting did the big guy, small guy match, damn near to perfection. It was always, the matches were always good, and they always told their story of the big guy, little guy. And this one, I thought, told the story of I put it on Twitter, and I almost wanted to delete it, but I don't think it's. I'm trying to say, it's just Piper Niven is a more bigger girl, and Santana Garrett is a more slender, smaller girl on the smaller side. But they played off the I put on Twitter the quote unquote big versus small dynamic, and they did a great job. They do it better than a lot of the guys do. They do it better than the Enzo and Kaz do. They do it better in their matches. They do it better than who else? They do it better than Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. They don't even do big guys, small guys, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, but things are going crazy. But yeah, and it was fantastic. Great to see. And there were some falls where you saw both ladies were gonna, had won the match. Piper Niven came off with a flying, a flying body press while she was sitting up and down, and then it didn't kick out. And then she did something, I forget, but she had a close call, and then just Piper Niven took over, hit her with a couple of things, picked her up for a Michinoku driver, and she won. And it was amazing. And so she moves on in the tournament. So after 3 episodes, we have Toni Storm moving on, Dakota Kai moving on, Bianca Belair moving on, and Piper Niven moving on into the tournament. And at this point, I am I am like, my heavens. I just don't know what to do with myself. I mean, this is entertaining as heck. And I did not watch the Cruiserweight Classic, and I did not watch the UK tournament. I wanted to, I didn't, and I surely regret doing it. That I think this could have been the same way. This could have, especially the Cruiserweight tournament. Some of the things that I've heard about the matches, and Cedric Alexander matches. The matches he had in that tournament got him the job with WWE. Matches he had, they had to sign it. The crowd was chanting, sign him, sign him, sign him. Triple H looked back, gave the thumbs up. So, I mean, and I wonder if we're going to see that, at some point in this tournament. So let's go to episode 4. Episode 4 has some of the more known ladies, I think, at least from what I know. I know of Candice LeRae because she was a part of the tag team with Joey Ryan, the introduced the tag team, things like that. There's that video on YouTube where they're wrestling somebody. I think it may even be the Young Bucks. I'm not even sure, but they're wrestling a show, and she gets busted open, and she takes a super kick from one of the guys with a thumbtack shoe. So it's just, that's, and I kind of know her from that. She's also married to Johnny Gargano. Tessa Blanchard I know of because of obviously NXT, and she's Tully's daughter. And then of course we've all been hearing about Kairi Sane and her debut with WWE. So they probably saved this one for the last one because they wanted to get all of the named girls in, and I hadn't heard of many of the other girls in the past from the other episodes, but their names now without question. So let's go with this one. Let's start episode 4. We got Renee Michelle versus Candice LeRae. Now, throughout this review and throughout me watching, I've tried my best not to go down man lane. And what I mean by man lane is by focusing on them being a woman and not what they're putting on, the show they're putting on in the ring. I mentioned that, I perked up when I saw Rhea Ripley, and I perked up when I saw Sarah Logan. But Renee Michelle, wow. Native American, Cuban, and black. And she is gorgeous. Woo. I mean, it's just something that as a man, you just, you can try to be as as you can be, and just try to focus on the wrestling. But it's like she's gorgeous. I mean, you just can't help it. It's not, you shouldn't, but that's, wow. And she was, and she took on Candice LeRae, and the crowd obviously know of Candice. They are behind her. They're chanting Candice Wrestling. Candice Wrestling because of Johnny Gargano being Johnny Wrestling, and they're chanting for Candice. This crowd is pro Candice 100%. Renee Michelle puts on a good showing for herself. She does what she does. She's got some MMA background like most of these girls do, and she's kind of a striker, and she's doing her thing. I think she might have missed a cue on one thing, but that's okay. I think they covered it up pretty well. And Candice LeRae hits her second rope neck breaker on her, and she gets the victory, and she moves on into the tournament in the Mae Young Classic. Next match was Tayana Conti versus Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans is an NXT prospect, and Tayana is from Brazil, Rio to be exact. And this one again, we have here where Tayana is obviously playing the heel because we have Lacey Evans, she was a former Marine, and she's the All-American girl. She's that the Dixie do 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 do. You remember that from like the old thing in like in the 40s and 50s and like in World War II and something like that. Those ladies that would be dancing. Those ladies, I can't remember what the names are, but she's kind of got that gimmick going, and that's what she's doing. And so obviously this is she's the USA and the USA crowd. So she automatically they just said they weren't even gonna try to do a thing. They just turned her and make her the heel, and that's what they did. And she played the heel really good. She's got a judo background, does Tayana, and yeah, I thought this was definitely a great exhibition as well. I think it showed the athleticism and the kind of power, the combination Lacey has, and then the quickness. And then the striking ability that Tayana has. Lacey won. She won the match. I guess it tells you how I'm getting old because I get worried when they get ready to do these moves. I'm always worried about the Styles Clash, especially since what's his face took it wrong. And now she's got this move that you see on WWE 2K game if you play it, where she puts them down, and then the leg goes between the legs, and then she jumps. She jump down, and she kind of sits down, and it's kind of like how Rey Mysterio would do the West Coast pop, and then he would do the Hurricane Rana, and then flip over, and then he hold him like this with both legs. That's what she kind of did. Except she just kind of jumped down and bam, and then landed on her. That was like that. So, and that's how she got the victory. And she went for the handshake after the end of the match. Tayana wasn't having any of it. So if Tayana is this, she's already Lacey's already in NXT. So this could be a good rivalry if both girls be in NXT, and this could be something special. This was a pretty good match, in my eyes. And Lacey Evans, she won. So then the next match was Nicole Savoy versus Reina Gonzalez. And now that I think about it, I mentioned earlier about how I kind of thought I kind of thought what match was it? Was it Marty Bell and Rachel Evers? Where I kind of thought that maybe it wasn't a Styles Clash, and it just didn't go anywhere. I think this one, and I said this might have been the worst match of the thing, even though it was still a good match. But it was the worst one. I think this one might have been the worst match because this one's definitely because Reina Gonzalez is she's 6 feet tall and she's kind of this power girl, and Nicole Savoy is apparently this suplex machine that also has some MMA capabilities, but just it didn't seem to work out. It really didn't. Again, they tried their best. So I'm not here to crap on any of these ladies for anything that they do, because listen, it's anything could have happened out there. So and whatever. So it was just a clash of styles between the two ladies. Nicole Savoy won. She made Reina tap out to the armbar, Which, by the way, that reminds me. Throughout each episode, they show different women. They show, they show the four horsewomen of MMA when Shayna was there, and they showed the Rock's family, his ex-wife Danny, his daughter, his mother, and of course Nia Jax, which I guess is his cousin. I'm not sure anymore because they just. The Roman Reigns is his cousin, but actually it's not. The Usos are the cousins, no, actually they're not. But Nia Jax is his cousin, man, she's not. I don't know. So, who knows? But let's just say the Samoan heritage was there. the Samoan women were there, and Danny's Cuban. So, yeah, but the Johnsons were there. And let's just say that, right? The Johnsons were there. And they showed us that Alexa Bliss was there, Naomi was there, and it did seem like that when they showed Naomi, it did sound like that JR said he's going to say he's the WWE SmackDown Women's Champion, but since they took the title off her, they had to cut her off. They had to cut that off. It kind of did feel that way. Check that out. I believe that's in the first episode. So check that out. And when you're watching that, check that out. So and see if I'm right or not. So yeah, and throughout the night they did all the women. They also showed Charlotte and Sarah Monto, who was the head female trainer in NXT, and they showed Natty and Beth Phoenix, who was there. And I think as these go on, we know that the four horsewomen are going to be there. Of the WWE are going to be there. WWE, NXT, whatever. They're going to be there. And probably we'll see more of them come up there. Maybe some more legends. Alundra Blaze was down she was down in the Performance Center helping out the ladies when this was announced as well. So we should see all of these legends and future legends and superstars that are now when it comes to the women's division of WWE in this Mae Young Classic. But the final match was what everybody seems to be waiting for: Kairi Sane versus Tessa Blanchard. And this was, I think this was a match. I get the feeling that Kairi Sane was going to be the last match, no matter what, because there's so much stuff around her. But after this match, I can see why. This was probably, I personally probably like the Mia Yim and Sarah Logan match better. But I think the fans they enjoyed the hell out of this one, because this one was really just you felt that both of these ladies wanted it. The crowd was truly behind Kairi Sane. Oh, there was some "Let's go Tessa," Kairi Sane, "Let's go Tessa." There was some chants, and those type of chants. Tessa showed what she can go and what she can do. And again, I wonder if there was a kind of a just a small misconnection from these two because of the thing, because she calls for the elbow and goes to the top rope, but when she gets to the top rope, Tessa's not on the ground. She's actually standing up, walking around. So this could have been kind of a mini botch by them, or it could have been just actually good storytelling wrestling, where once again Kairi Sane, she's a young kind of wrestler as well, and both of these girls are young, so there's no about the veteran. There's no veteran take advantage of the young, but she's kind of doing her thing to the crowd, and she takes kind of long, and when she gets to the top rope, she can't hit her elbow drop because she's taking too long, and now Tessa stands up, so now she has to redo it, and she goes for a phenomenal forearm against Tessa, and this match ends up, and this is what I was talking about. I believe Tessa hits a spear on Kairi Sane throughout this. And she does another thing. She gets a near fall, and then Kairi turns it around. She goes and she finally she hits her with the Alabama Slam. She goes over the top rope for the elbow. She's pointing that, and when I'm telling you, you have to see this to believe it. When she jumps up, and they showed it in slow motion after the match. When she jumps up and she throws her legs above her head and her feet are like above her head, and it's like it is a deep elbow drop to the solar plexus, and she gets the victory. And this was a tremendous bout from these two ladies, and you can see why. And I'm going to go back to a minute to the Nicole Voy Reina Gonzalez match. Because in that match, Nicole Voy was selling a knee injury. Now, who knows if it's real or if it's fake? And then throughout the match between Kairi and Tessa, they kept saying it is a shame that these two can't move on. So maybe you wonder if for the next round they were setting up. And there was also a thing where during the bracketology show with Corey Graves and Lita, Triple H had said that he made it seem to say that no matter what happens in this match, if you win or if you lose or if you come back as an alternate. So this has me thinking Nicole Savoy is selling a knee injury. Lita and JR are saying it is such a shame that these two ladies, and one of these two ladies, have to have her time in the tournament end in the first round. So I can't help but wonder if maybe that's where that's going to go. If maybe Tess is going to be the replacement for Nicole in the next round. Now, and I shall say, if you have not seen this and you are watching this, that when you do go and watch it, that these matches are not in order. They are all over the place. They're picking them from different sides of the brackets and things like that, and different types of things. So these are not in order. So Nicole Savoy isn't going to face Kairi Sane. I think maybe there was only one match that was like that. I think it might have been. Maybe it might have been Dakota Kai and Toni Storm or something like that. I'm not sure. I think Toni Storm is facing Lacey Evans in the next round, but it doesn't matter. Only one thing can happen like that. So we will have to see it to believe it. But it was a tremendous match, and it ended the 4-episode mini series, I guess you could say, on a great ending. I enjoyed the hell out of it. This was truly awesome. Like I said, it makes me really wish that I was really into the Cruiserweight Classic and maybe the UK tournament. So yeah, I don't know when the next ones are going to drop. I don't know if they're going to drop next Monday or whatever they're going to drop, but whenever the next episodes drop, I'm going to watch them. And I'm going to, when I can, I know it may not be Monday at 10 o'clock. It may be, who knows, it may be Friday at 10. Friday, I'm at school. I'm at school, and then I can't do it. But whenever they drop, whenever I get the opportunity to watch the next few episodes, the next round of episodes, I am going to do exactly what I did today. I'm going to watch them back to back to back to back. Now I'm going to do a rapid reaction for you, give you my thoughts on round 2. So there you are. There you have it. Oh, and really quick, I mentioned earlier about the way to go. There, with Candice being such a big name and Kairi Sane doing this stuff, and they're on opposite sides of the bracket, so you can definitely see that maybe that's where they're going to go. They might go the Candice LeRae, Kairi Sane type of way to go. However, that being said, it could be anything. They definitely could do Shayna Baszler, because, like I said, even though I don't know of her, she does have a name. They could say that, Mercedes Martinez, 16 years in the business. She has with us, hey, I guess said the 20-year-old Rhea Ripley. I gushed all over her when I was talking about her. I mean, I just think she has the look, and who knows, they could maybe, like I said, they might put the rocket ship on her and give her the thing like that. So, I am predicting that we're going to see Candice LeRae and Kairi Sane at the end. But my predictions, but I could be wrong. However, I did predict Mayweather would knock out McGregor in the 10th round. I did predict that. Better believe it. I'll put a thing up here. Also, I'll put another thing up here in the corner. Take you to that video, and then get you around the 4-minute mark, and you'll find my prediction. So I did it. I predicted it. 10th round TKO. I'm the man. But yeah, so that's it. The review of the first round of the Mae Young Classic. I enjoyed the hell out of it. This was a great thing. I think it's historic time. Women's wrestling is definitely getting away from the sexualized nature of it to now like the actual wrestling of it. It is no longer becoming the piss break. It is now you repeat yourself because you don't want to miss it. So, and I think this is another step forward towards that actual thing. So this was so good, and this was a great job by Triple H and the guys at WWE and NXT for putting this on, finding these women and doing this. I know it had to be hard, and I know this had to be like, well, who we gonna choose to win? Who we gonna choose to pick this and that? Because all of these women are like, they have such great stories, and it seems like all these women really do deserve it. But it is the showcase. They have showcased themselves, and like I've said many times throughout this review, all 32 women showed themselves very well in this tournament. Like I said, Tiana, who was facing Levy Evans, showed her heel persona great. She lost. I thought that the young girl Xia Li, she showed herself to be a damn good face for that being her first match. Although I think she is signed to WWE, so I think she just may be in NXT. You may see her in the next couple months or so in NXT, but she hasn't already debuted. And I guess I don't watch NXT as much as I can, so but I think all the women showed themselves good, and so I think even though they may not get a WWE contract, they may not win this Mae Young Classic, they're going to get good exposure from this, and they'll be able to go on the indie scene. They'll be able to go to GFW. They'll be able to go to Ring of Honor. They'll be able to go wherever they can, and they will make money, and they will be the star. I think all 30 women have that potential. Like I said, for me personally, I think Sarah Logan, Rhea Ripley. I think those two for sure. I think you sign right away. When they come to the back, you make them sign on the dotted line. So, and I think, and so as we move on, I think the matches will get longer. This was, and the matches may get even better. We may start seeing some classics like happened in the Cruiserweight Classic and the UK tournament. So, definitely glad to see this go through. So, I'm going to stop talking and now turn it over to you guys. Post down in the comments section what you guys think of the Mae Young Classic. What do you guys think of the matches? Who do you guys see as potential stars? Who do you think is going to win it all? And if you were like there and put spoiler alert before you put in any comment section. Put it in all caps so people will know that if they don't want to know. Like I said, I don't think I want to know either. I was surprised there hasn't been any spoilers coming out yet. I haven't seen anything on Twitter or anything like that. So kind of been kept hush hush. So That's good. So I'm glad people were able to do that and let the people who wanted to watch it when they come out be surprised and be joy and see what goes on. So go ahead, post comments down below. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching. This is your boy AJ Tripp signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.